Duty. A moral or legal responsibility. Duty refers to a moral or legal obligation to perform certain actions or behaviors. It is often associated with a sense of responsibility that is expected from individuals within specific roles or relationships, such as being a parent, employee, or citizen. Obligation. A requirement to act. Obligation refers to something that must be done because of external requirements, such as laws, contracts, or promises. While duty is often driven by personal values, obligation is driven by external factors like laws or agreements that compel someone to act. Duty is rooted in personal morality. Duty often arises from personal or cultural values and is closely linked to an individual's sense of right and wrong. It is an internal force that motivates individuals to act according to their ethical or moral principles. Obligation is external and imposed. Obligations typically come from external sources, such as societal expectations, legal frameworks, or contractual agreements. These are actions that an individual is bound to carry out, regardless of personal feelings or values. Duty can be voluntary. Duty is often voluntary, driven by a sense of personal commitment or ethical belief. For instance, an individual may feel a duty to help those in need, even without any legal or formal requirement to do so. Obligation is legally binding. An obligation is usually enforced by a law or contract. For example, paying taxes is an obligation because failing to do so can result in legal consequences. Obligations often have tangible penalties for non-compliance. Duty reflects moral responsibility. Duty is generally seen as a higher moral responsibility, often based on ethical principles. It involves an individual's commitment to doing what is right, even if there is no legal enforcement. Obligation is task-oriented. Obligation is often task-oriented and directly related to a specific action or set of actions. It tends to be focused on fulfilling duties prescribed by rules, laws, or agreements rather than acting on personal moral judgments. Duty often comes with social expectations. While duty is internally motivated, it is often shaped by social and cultural expectations. For example, one's duty as a family member or citizen is influenced by societal norms and shared values. Obligation enforces compliance. Obligations are generally enforced to ensure compliance. Whether legal or contractual, failing to meet obligations often leads to consequences, such as fines, penalties, or breach of contract.